Hello everyone, this is James Shore with another test-driven development video. I'm recording this on March 28th, 2012, picking up where I left off in the last episode. Before beginning, I do need to remind you all about the training course I'm putting on in New York City from April 23rd to the 27th. This is the Art of Agile Boot Camp. It's a week-long course which covers everything from planning to delivery. It's appropriate for programmers and customers, business experts, everybody who's involved with creating software in an agile way on an agile team or is interested in learning about how that works will benefit from this course. I'm very proud of this course. I put it together with Diana Larson, who's the author of the book Retrospectives. It's just a really good course, and we always get high ratings from our participants. So if you're interested, please go check it out, Art of Agile NYC. That is taking place the last week of April, and I hope to see you there. Now, when we left off in our last episode, we were just looking at, we were struggling. Honestly, we've been struggling with swing as usual. No surprise there. And trying to test that the warning dialog is coming up. And, this is the point at which I would be very strongly tempted to just stop struggling and give up. But you guys are acting as my virtual pair partners. The advantage of pairing, of course, is that, or one of the advantages is that having somebody there helps you be a little more self-disciplined about it when you come up against these really hard problems and push on through and figure out how to test it. The difference between really good test coverage and adequate test coverage is like night and day. When you have really good test coverage and really good test-driven development, then you can code in an entirely different way. You can be very casual about doing your code right the first time, knowing that you can refactor anything and everything with impunity because your test will tell you if you make a mistake. That's our goal here, is to have such good test coverage that we can refactor at any time, which allows us to write our code quickly and naturally rather than agonizing over every decision. As I'm sure those of you who have to work in really large legacy systems know what that's like. Before you write even a single character, you go in and you look at 5 different files and try to figure out whether or not it's going to work. And it's a real pain, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to figure out how to test this if it kills us, and it might. So we're getting an array index out of bounds exception. The thought was that perhaps we could assert. What we're doing is we're showing the dialog inside of our do save and then asserting that it's eventually true that that dialog has shown up. And we're getting and then we're just looking for that dialog over and over again. And we're getting an error saying that no, there's only one owned window. And that presumably is the save as dialog. The theory here is that when our warning dialog comes up, let me just show you what that looks like in case you were wondering. The theory is that when this warning dialog comes up, now we have 2 child windows. Oops, that's not it. Let me do it again. Save. It worked. Oh, because I've commented out. Well, anyway, a warning dialog will come up. I believe that will become a second owned window. However, this assert eventually true tries over and over and over again until it happens. So what we need to do is get the number of owned windows. Or child windows. And then if child windows is less than 2, we need to return null. Otherwise, return what we found. And this will be child windows.length, of course. So will that work? I don't know. I want to see a failure, not an array index out of bounds exception. Please work. Oh, well, that's promising. Warning dialog should be visible within 1,000 milliseconds. All right. I'm feeling better about this. Fingers crossed. Come on, baby needs a new pair of shoes. I can't believe that worked. Oh, this is such a pile of hacky loveliness. Wow. Okay, it worked. Huh. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Well, time to refactor. Oh, well, I guess we're not quite done yet. We do want to make sure that that warning dialog does the right thing. I wonder what would happen if we called fail with a message here. Would that message show up in our test? Yeah, it does. All right. So we've got the dialog. So we want to assert if the dialog is null, we just want to return. We're not ready. But otherwise, we want to assert and if the dialog is not visible, so what I'm trying to do here is do these asserts. I think I'm getting too fancy. Let me back all that up. So it's eventually true that the dialog is visible. Great. Once the dialog is visible, we want to assert that a few things about it. We want to assert that its message is save file, or its title is save file. So yeah, now we want to force ourselves to write the right code here. So right now we've basically got the equivalent of show message dialog. That's not legal. So we want to force it to do the right stuff. Oops. Well, okay, so let's just look at that. Okay. So now in a test-driven way, we want to assert that our warning dialog parent is the application frame. What's that called? I have to wait for Swing or for Eclipse to figure out all the methods in Swing again, as usual. Wow, it's just taking its time. All right, what's that called? Parent component. Telling me there's no way for me to figure out the parent component? Oh, it's probably get parent component. Yeah, there we go. So let's do that. Okay, that's working, it looks like. What happens if we pass in null? Doesn't work. It says it's not visible. I guess that's not legal, which is fine. I'm happy with that. So let's make that pass again. Okay, now we want to assert the warning dialog. Title is save as. Can we get title? Yeah, there we go. It should fail, expected save as, but was message. Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah. And actually, I think we wanted that warning to be save file, not save as. Doesn't compile. Looks like we have to pass in the message type. So, and looking at it, it's going to be message, title, and then the type of message, which we'll just call cancel option for now. Actually, I don't think that's a valid. Call it error message. Okay, because that's incorrect and we want to test drive that. So that's working. Now we want the message to be, and in this case, it needs to put out exactly what the exception message was. So we're going to say could not save file colon generic exception. And I'm not sure how to, what that's called. It's called message. Uh-oh, may not be possible to get access to that. Foiled again. What, how am I gonna get? Because I think what it does is it actually constructs this whole thing. Like it creates the dialogue out of the string. So is there any possible way of getting that message? I don't think so. I mean, I think we could get the content pane. I think we could poke into the internals of Swing to get it out, and maybe that's what we'll have to do. But that is all the time we have for this episode, so I guess we'll pick that up next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're getting closer here. Not there yet, but we're getting closer. We will beat this into submission one way or the other. Thanks again. I will catch you next time.